All right, we're live. Hello, everybody. Hello, everybody on the chat. Thank you for being here. Hello, Maree. Hello, Jazzy.
Hi, Lisa. Hi, everyone. Jazzy's here today. And I noticed Bix's message that Jasper's a bit of a silent type.
Yeah.
And when he comes in, he does actually have quite a lot to say and show us. So he'll pop in today. I know he will. So
Yes.
that's Jazzy. He loves everyone.
Yes, absolutely. We need to bring him in more often.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, how's everything going over there, Maree?
Well, we've had an interesting weekend, and yesterday, what was our Monday? So I'd actually read somewhere on the underground news that there'd been a lot of places that have had some cyber attack that people didn't know about. 4 of our big banks, we've only got really 4 big banks here, all have been hit with this cyber attack. So what happens? 48 hours, my bank, which is the Commonwealth Bank, went down. Just no one could access anything, no money, you couldn't get online, you couldn't transfer, nothing, couldn't do anything. So people were caught out. They were out in the shops, they couldn't pay for anything, payments couldn't get put across. The other 3 banks also had glitches and they were offline for a short amount of time, whereas this big bank was about 48 hours. And that's huge for some people. You know, I'm fine. I love working with cash. And it was so interesting, Elisa, because I was saying to Elisa before, guys, I looked at some stats in 2019 in Australia. 50% of people were really happy using cash.
Yeah.
Then over the time of being locked in 2022, it had dropped to 20%. Now, all the comments I've been hearing since this incident happened in Australia, it was people are going, well, cash is king. We have to have cash. We have to go back to cash. And I'm going, yay, people are getting it. And maybe this is all happening to wake people up to go, I better have some cash on hand. So I work with cash. I work with cash as much as I can. I love it. And if a shop won't let me pay in cash, I go up and tell them, how dare you not take my absolute legal tender, my currency, and I will not shop here, and I walk out.
Beautiful.
But I really feel this is a bit of a wake-up call for people because we've got too reliant on doing these ones with their cards. So So
absolutely.
anyway, so that's something that happened that was really interesting.
What
about you? Anything over there?
Let's see, over here, I can't think of anything really. I was kind of on top of the news kind of thing. So there wasn't really anything that jumped out at me that was major or anything like that. So yeah. So nothing major. But again, a big deal about my spiritual work, that I think it's something that people need to know about, is that I finally decided to go and sit with myself and just kind of say, okay, inner child, what is it that you want to do? What do you want to play? Like, so that because the cards are always telling me, play, have joy, be a kid, I've always, since I was very little, I was very independent and very serious, very, very mature as a child. So I was never really like a big, I always played with adults because I was an only child. So I'm asking that child, and then what came up was me in a crib. And what I heard from her was, I don't want to play. I just want to be heard. And I'm like, oh, okay, yes. And then I said, what else? And she said, I want to be acknowledged. I want to, feel like I'm here, like, no, I don't want to be ignored. And so I was like, holy crap. So I had my affirmations already in front of me. So I wrote affirmations to affirm, I am heard. I am acknowledged. I am loved. I am worthy of love. And so it was so interesting, like that this little girl was like, no, I don't want to play. I'm playing enough here. Like, just, I want acknowledgement that I exist and I'm here. And, so it was so beautiful and so easy. So guys, I went with the intention, okay, let's get this done. So I sat down and the information came in and it was fast and I did not suffer. It was very simple and really empowering, really empowering. So I want you guys to feel comfortable with this idea of going inside and doing this, because it's not as horrible as we, it's going to be as horrible as we make it to be. So it's your intention that's going to create that space.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, no, that's beautifully said, Elisa. And I think you're right. People are afraid almost of going in case, what am I going to find? Is it going to feel horrible? Am I going to be scared? If you go, what I do is go in and I go, okay, I'm just going to connect with that aspect of me. If I've been a little bit afraid to step forward with something, or I'm avoiding a bit of conflict, or I'm feeling uneasy about something, I'll go in and talk to that aspect. And it's quite incredible how sometimes it's from another lifetime and you actually end up clearing it for your whole lineage. And I just bring through source, I bring through God, but I acknowledge it. I love it. I thank it for protecting, and we just don't need it now in this lifetime. So
yeah.
it's like, that's all we have to do. And you're
Mm-hmm.
right. It can be so easy just
Yes.
to get through that fear, though, of actually going inside and
Yeah.
trusting what we get,
Yes.
trusting it.
Yeah, absolutely. And something
Yeah.
else that came up is that that heals that inner child of that moment in time, but there's other, I need to go back to the womb.
Yeah.
And because the way that my mom was feeling at the time, and I
Yep.
also need to go to like maybe 7 years, 8 years old, where I think there was some stuff there as well.
Yeah.
But we'll see when I get there. Right now I feel like healing that child in the crib might have healed that 7, 8 year old.
Yeah, that can happen.
So
Yes. Yeah.
I just want to make sure there's nothing left. I just want to be done with this and really just heal that, so my dreams stop. Because this came from your dream. I
Yeah.
had given you the dream and you had your show and it
Yeah.
came out.
It was pretty powerful dream that you sent through. That's a really poignant dream, to have that little child pinned down onto a table with the feet still on the ground, and it's giving you a message, isn't it? Which you've now really started to do beautiful work with.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm just really tired of the dreams. It's just constant. Every dream is about self-worth. Every dream. So
You're getting your message.
yeah, absolutely. So I just highly suggest for people to do this kind of thing. That's all.
Yeah.
So
I think that's a great suggestion. And it's so simple and easy. You can just do it at home, on your couch, wherever you are.
Mm-hmm.
And it shifts so quickly now because our frequency and vibration is so much finer and so much higher and expanded.
Yeah.
It's so easier for us to then be able to release this.
Yes.
So, and then
Yes.
also what happens is when we are doing that sort of inner work, we get less symptoms of the ascension symptoms or the light body symptoms, as I call them. We don't have as many issues because we're throwing out the old so this new can come in.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah,
absolutely.
it's essential work.
It's humongous.
Yeah,
it's humongous. Yeah, healing. Absolutely, Amanda. So yeah, I feel like it's important for us to share. Not only tarot cards are fun and everything, but really what Maree and I want to do is to really help you all get to that space of the 5D, of the higher vibration, of clearing everything out, and whatever we can do to help you get there. So not only have fun with the tarot, but also help you in any way that we can.
Yeah,
so
absolutely.
Yeah, so definitely use Maree's show on Sundays to decode your dreams, because it's going to help you. It really is going to help you figure out what's going on. I mean, it's and the cool thing is we're remembering our dreams.
I know. I mean, there's going to be times where you don't. Like Zan had just been going through something and she said, I haven't remembered a dream for like 2 weeks, and it's so unusual for her. So don't panic if you're not remembering them. Just have the intention, and if you're meant to, you will.
Exactly.
Yeah, often I find I'll get woken up at 2 or 3 in the morning to remember a dream, and
Yeah.
then I'll play it through my head, and I'm lucky I don't need to write it down, but I give it a name and I go, what would it be called as a movie? Okay, what? And then I'm fine. I'll remember it in the morning.
Yeah. 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 Yeah.
But yeah, no,
Yeah.
definitely worth remembering our dreams.
Yeah. Big time.
So yeah,
Okay. So lots of things happening. I myself deleted a bunch of Telegram channels because I have decided, okay, if all of this already happened, right? If all this stuff, we're on the other side and all the truth is out and we're rebuilding communities, would I be going to these Telegram channels? Would I be looking at them every day for hours at a time? No. I'm not going to be looking at those channels. So I want to bring in that energy of we're already there. And so I just deleting channel after channel, just delete. I'm like, no, I'm already in that space. It already happened. It's already here. And so.
Yep. I love that, Elisa. And something I've been doing more of recently is, what if we were already in the space where we've been through the whole shebang, it's all been closed down, we've come out the other side. What if I already had, my dreams coming true, and I was actually, getting this land I want to get and doing this water stuff and helping people, and wow, and actually feeling into it. So that what if
That's
is a
the
really
key.
beautiful way to flip us over to that side of it.
Yeah,
So
absolutely.
it allows us to imagine it, to feel it, and then we're creating it.
Yeah.
So that's brilliant. That's really good.
Yes.
So,
And it's made a difference. But then again, when I come here, I don't have that much to talk about. So,
but that's all right. We can talk through some of the comments. Even are really. I'm just having a quick look now. Some of the comments are really good, and it's like we can expand on things from there, and talk about situations that come up, and
absolutely. And that last one, I was thinking, guys, everybody on the chat, we're like these, like, it'd be cool if we become these psychic detectives, because you guys, with using your intuition plus our intuition plus the cards, I mean, like the last show about the submarine, that was like so much fun. I almost felt like it was a joint effort of being like these psychic detectives. So I thought that was a lot of fun.
Yeah, so. I know. That was fun, actually. It was like, oh, okay, we can go here and explore that.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Yeah. So, and I know Lisa had asked about the submarine that, and we did already answer that question, that the men in the submarine are in either Gitmo or Guam, but they're they've been taken in by the.
Die. No, they certainly didn't. There was no real deaths from that at all. It was almost like a fake implosion that they used as part of the story. So which is really interesting.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So okay,
I did find out more about that. It was interesting because someone was saying that they were billionaire, father and son, and then 3 other people or something, but they owned this business, and there was some connections into some dodgy stuff. But when the Simpsons had this on, because you know how the Simpsons had us, it was Homer and his newly found father. So it was still predicting this father and son going down in a submarine, which I thought was hilarious.
That's crazy.
So it's all pre-programmed. It's already done.
Yeah, and you know what doesn't make sense? What doesn't make sense to me is that if the white hats were doing that, and the creators of The Simpsons are the bad guys, how did the bad guys prophesize, or whatever you want to call it? What's it called?
Well,
tell the future.
Program.
How were they able to tell the future that the white hats were doing and not the bad guys? I don't know. Like, I'm trying to
I know what
wrap
you're
my
trying to say,
head around that.
I was actually asking this as well. So Matt Groening, I think, is the the free M 33 degree, who was a part of it also. They've done this plan out. So what's the saying? Future proves past. So I feel things are being allowed to play out, but they're being monitored, and they're being used now to wake people up or distract people, or it's like they're being used by the white hats in a way that's benefiting the plan.
Oh, you know what? I just thought about it. What the white hats could have done is watch The Simpsons and create the story.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, who knows what came first, the chicken or the egg?
Yeah.
So there's
Yeah.
definitely a distraction though, because I mean, look what happened in that big country starting with R. I mean, look at that. That was actually known it was going to happen, that sort of coup, and they stopped it. They knew it was going to happen. So the white hats actually helped stop all of that. But it was shown. It's just another part of the movie.
Yeah.
So this is why, just enjoy life.
Yeah.
Just be in our moment.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Yeah. All right. So the first question was maple tree for you, Maree.
Okay. So what is it? Hi, Maree. Can a high psychic power make stuff break or go wrong? So maple tree, I'm going to take that if someone is maybe very open psychically, can focusing on something, or can going into something break it or make it go wrong. Always it's an intention. I mean, there's black magic. There is very much black magic, and yes, it can change things and make it go wrong per se, depending what the intention is of the person doing that. So I remember when I was quite young and I realized that I was quite psychic and stuff, I wasn't allowed to get into crystals until I'd vowed that I would not abuse my power, that I would only ever use it for good. Even my thoughts, I actually had to make a vow that I would not abuse my power, because obviously in other lifetimes we've been everything, haven't we? I've probably done black magic. I've probably been on the other side. We have to own and claim and take responsibility for every lifetime. So and then all of a sudden, once I'd made this vow and I felt it in my heart and I promised God, yep, I will not do that to anyone. That's when my absolute love of crystals started. This huge, all these gifts and talents started to come through. So yeah, maple tree, yeah, it can. And to me, that's why I very much take direction through source, or through, my beautiful connection into God, higher self, whatever you want to call it. To actually, I won't touch things. Sometimes I've been told, I work with Merlin, and I get told to go and actually help. I drop love bombs on these black magic places. I get told when to do it, how to do it. And it's fascinating how it works, but I won't go too much into it. But so you can actually dispel that as well when it's done with love and light. It's incredibly powerful. So I don't know if that helps answer your question.
Interesting. Thank you, Maree.
Yeah.
All right. All right. So let's ask the question, because I did see this in the only channel that I kept. Oh, no, this was in Honey's channel.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. So did the U.S. Supreme Court, supposedly the U.S. Supreme Court finalized the Brunson case, and they said that all 300 and however many senators were convicted. So of course it's not news because the bad guys, but what do the cards have to say? Is this really true, or
so they're actually saying that they've all been convicted through the
Supreme Court.
The Supreme Court.
Yeah.
So,
and of course this is in China, so it's news that we're not going to see here.
Yeah. Okay, let's have a look and see. Because my feeling was that they were trying to show how corrupt the Supreme Court is and how corrupt the DOJ is and all of that. So let's just see what comes up with that. Is that actually the truth that's going on?
And in it that Lloyd Brunson was like, well, I haven't heard from them, but that doesn't mean that it's been finalized and we don't know.
Four of Swords, it's still very hidden. So whatever's going on, it's definitely being kept out of any sort of story, any sort of news. but we've got our 8 of cups, so it looks like there's something that's been walked away from. Yeah, something's been completely left behind. So there's definitely some changes or something that's happened there. Oh yeah, we've got our 9 of wands. So I feel what's going on behind the scenes is quite different to what's appearing. And if the white hats do want us to sort of believe that it's all corrupt, they're not going to say, okay, they have been convicted, right?
Yeah.
So because the first card that dropped out was the strength card. So they're keeping a strong focus on what is needed to make this whole plan play out. So that was there, which sort of, yeah. So look, it could very well have happened with those cards.
Yeah.
It's just very, very hidden.
We're not going to hear about it. The cards don't want to tell us.
Well,
is that what it is? Or
they don't want to tell us that there's none of that coming out yet as news per se, what we would call news. But something's definitely been walked away from, like completely left behind with that 8 of cups. So that's what I'm getting. So there could have been something that's gone on, but we just don't know about it. So yeah, it could have happened.
Okay.
Yeah.
So
we got an Ace of Pentacles. I asked for a clarifying card.
Yeah.
So there's definitely been something that's come through that is gonna a reality. Yes, that's a yes to the reality that we're asking about.
Oh shit. Really?
So what's that tribal?
So tribal, I heard there was only one Supreme Court justice left. Yeah, I had heard that too.
I have too.
Which was Clarence Thomas.
Yeah. And people are wondering have you heard of White House or WH Grandpa or something? People are wondering if that's him.
Yeah.
So I don't know.
Oh.
So, let me just
that's one of the channels I deleted.
Oh, okay. Let me just see. Ooh. Yeah, this is a card, the Lover's card to me, where something's merged, like you're sort of bringing a balance about, and then the World card. So it looks like it could be this could be true.
I wonder if the Department of Justice really exists. I mean, of course,
anymore.
in the eyes of the normies and us, it looks like it exists, but does it? Like, if they've really gotten a hold of everything, the good guys, then I bet you it doesn't exist.
Yeah, exactly. Or it's running now from a very different perspective, or from a more truthful, like this different. Yes, it's still there, but it's working in a different way. So it's still upholding maybe the constitutional law. So, yeah. Do you want me to check that to see?
Yeah.
Does it exist the way it's known, that we've known it all through time?
Yeah. Is the Department of Justice Supreme Court still a Supreme Court?
Yeah, or has it been changed to?
Yeah, because so Bick is saying Thomas and Alito are also solid, as far as I've heard. I also heard there was an attempt to poison Thomas. After all, they talked about killing Scalia before he died.
Yeah, because I've heard that too. So, I agree.
And that's true, right?
It was funny the Lovers came up, because that could be two people, or it could be the balance with the one person. So I was wondering if there was two.
Yeah.
So we were asking, has it been changed? Yes, it has. And it's been changed so that, to me, this is a card that's very positive, that's constitutional, that's very it's what's the word, very high frequency. It's much better energy frequency than what was going on there. So it's definitely been changed. We've got our 5 of Wands, so there was a bit of a struggle with doing that, because that's an action card, so to create change, because 5 is change.
Oh, so, I'm sure that was a super struggle. Yeah. So I wonder if a Supreme Court per se, what we used to call the Supreme Court, actually exists anymore.
Okay, let's have a look and see. It seemed like it had changed with those cards.
Yes.
Yeah, it did look like it's changed. So there is a Supreme Court per se, but it's definitely changed its value system and who's on it and how it's
Okay, so
been run.
you don't feel like it's like doesn't even exist anymore as far as the name, like the name itself, Supreme Court.
I see what
That's
you
what I'm
mean.
asking.
Oh, so you mean has it changed name? Oh, yeah, there's been a transformation. We've got our debt
Oh,
card.
oh, so could
Yes.
okay,
So it
okay.
could have, again, the world cards come up again. So I feel this is happening everywhere, and it's a lot bigger than what we know. But it's got to be done in a way that's palatable to people, you know. So imagine if they said, "Oh, we're just taking away the Supreme Court," people would just be like, "Well,
Yeah,
what
yeah.
about our rights?" So they've done it in a way that's going to create balance, because that Two of Wands is looking for a balance, and how do we
Mhm.
do it so that we can then present it to the world? Okay, so because each country has its own Supreme Courts, and they're
Yeah.
all as corrupt as each other, really. So yeah,
Yeah.
fascinating.
Interesting. Okay. So not even a Department of Justice anymore. Like
Not the
that's
way it
what it
has
sounds
been.
like. Okay. Interesting. Okay.
Okay.
Let me make sure we don't have anything else having to do with that before I move on. Okay. So the next question, oh boy, I lost it. It was Trixie's about smoking or something.
Okay.
Okay. If I quit smoking and cough, sinus symptoms appear that can I what can I do to subside these symptoms? I always go back to smoking, not looking for medical advice. Just thoughts and ideas, please.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
So yeah. So when you're smoking, if you give up, you're clearing. So your body's actually clearing debris and things that have been in your lungs. Now your nose, all of that airway is connected. So your sinus symptoms will come up. With sinus symptoms, if you're sort of getting infections and blockages, I tend to use sage tea. So I use about a half a teaspoon of sage tea in an inhalation twice a day. You'll find it works better than antibiotics. It's amazing. That's for me personally. Of course, I'm not giving any medical advice. But I had, when I was working as a pharma rep, I had a GP that I went to see her on a visit, and as a rep, and she was so sick. I said, "What is wrong with you?" She went, "Oh my God, Maree," she said, "all my sinuses are infected all the way through my face." She said, "I've been on antibiotics for 4 weeks." She said, and I went, "Sage tea." So I told her about these sage tea inhalations. I'm going, oh, this doctor's going to think I'm cuckoo. But she rang me 3 days later and she said, "It's nearly all gone." She said, "I can't believe how amazing this stuff is." So that's one thing that you can do if you're getting the infections in the sinuses. It's brilliant. I love Easy Air, which is a doTERRA oil. You can pop in an infuser, or you can just pop a drop in your hands, rub them, and then breathe it in. That really helps to clear the lung. So yeah, but it's going to take maybe a couple of weeks for all of that to clear, Trixie Tot. So it's worth
Okay.
sticking with it. They say that often your vitamin C depleted as well, so having orange juice will help, and doing deep breathing. So you breathe in, and then when you breathe out, you bend over and you drop all the air out, and that really helps to clear things out.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so yeah, so there's
Okay.
just some ideas.
Yeah, no, thank you.
If anyone
I
else has got any,
appreciate.
pop them in the comments. Yeah,
Yeah,
so
yeah, that's great. That's great. Okay. Maple Tree wants to know from you and Jasper, how does someone bring abilities in this life?
okay. So you mean like, so I'm presuming, Maple Tree, that you're talking about our gifts and talents, so our awakening of our
Yeah,
clairvoyance,
that's what
our
I'm assuming.
clairaudience.
Psychic abilities. Yeah.
Yeah, so I'll grab Jasper for this, but also too, just from my personal experience through my life, I know I had the psychic abilities from when I was born, from when I was young, but they have definitely changed and expanded, and there's been more come through. For me, it was a matter of survival. I had to walk on eggshells when I was a child,
Ugh.
because there was a particular someone that had a big temper, and so it was like I was using my intuition to know when they were going to come home, what was going to happen. So it was almost like a survival method for me, using my intuition. I could talk to animals. I thought everyone could do that. I could see things. I thought everyone could do it. So depends. Some people, they're not having a lifetime that's meant to be spiritual. They're just meant to be here for a holiday. So they may not even recognize that there's such a thing as beautiful spiritual gifts or gifts that we have. So sometimes it's through our lineage. I know that on my mum's side, but most of my family are quite intuitive, but they just do it naturally. The guys don't talk about it. They're just naturally intuitive. So it can be lineage. It can actually be passed down through lineage. Raising your frequency and raising your vibration definitely helps. So really being connected in, doing the inner work, clearing out our old baggage and our old stuff, and healing lineage patterns and trauma allows for our DNA to be activated as our frequency then and vibration increases. So do you want to add anything to this, Elisa?
The only thing I could add is that I did ask for me in the past, why was it that I had not come into my abilities strongly? And what I was given was that it was the information that I know or who I am, I would be put at risk. Like
Wow.
with certain knowledge, if I would have that knowledge, that I would be at risk.
Yeah.
My life would be
sense.
at risk.
And that makes sense, so it comes out when the divine timing is right. This is what I've always found. So even when I was young, even when I was sort of early 20s, I was going through this huge opening up to more and more of my gifts, but I didn't know, there was no really books around about this then. I had to go through this myself and teach myself. All my chakras would open. I'd have spirits knocking on my head trying to give messages to people, and I was really vulnerable. I would feel energies coming through and out, and I'd just be going, I can't work like this. So I had to learn how to work with my chakras, how to know how to bring them in, to keep them more in when I was out in a lot of people or out in the world. So it was a real learning process, Maple Tree. And I feel we're also individual. We're all having our own experience on this level. So for me, though, it was tough. I had to go through all of this, and I was quite scared a lot of the time because of the stuff that was going on.
Yeah.
But now is a whole different world. I had to go through that to help others. So, but I'm going to tune into Jasper to see if he's got anything he wants to share with us that we can tap into and to understand more about that.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's tune in with our beautiful Jasper. So straight away he's showing me, depending what our perception is of what we're looking at, whether we look at these gifts as scary, or if we look at them as like an absolute blessing, that's also dependent on how they're going to be activated. So it's our perspective he's showing me on looking at things.
Yeah, it's the beliefs, right? If you believe it's hard to turn them on, then it's going to be hard to turn them on.
That's right.
And if you concentrate on those things that are not coming up, then that's what you're going to see, right?
Totally. And he's also showing me DNA, and where there's blocks and things or whatever within the DNA that have been deliberately put there.
Yes.
Sometimes they're always put there by our soul, but sometimes they've been orchestrated over time. But and once they clear, it's like then everything comes into alignment and place. So he's definitely showing the DNA has been worked with. So a lot more people are coming into these knowings and intuitions and synchronicity and So yeah, it's our perspective and our DNA. Is there anything else, Jasper? And he's showing me again this beautiful frequency and vibration that's just flooding the earth, that's actually activating people. So it really is happening at the moment. So that's why you do your inner work, get the old clothes out of the wardrobe so the new clothes can come in.
Yes, absolutely. Okay, very good. Thank you, Maree. And Jasper.
Yes.
All right. So it's kind of a question, but not a question, but I want to address it because I'm getting questions from it. So just got notice from Wells Fargo, one of the bigger banks here. They sold my mortgage to a person in Texas. Is this part of banks unloading assets because they're in trouble? So yeah, I definitely want to know, what do the cards want to tell us about this? What does it mean?
Just even logistically though, Melissa, what was going on in Australia for a while is they sell on your contract with a bank to another bank to get the money. And at the end of the day, you can ask for all the original paperwork from your loan, And if they can't send it to you, then you can say to them, well, I'm not paying this because that's not the original contract. They won't be able to send it to you if they've sold it on to someone in Texas. Like that's and they don't realize a lot of people don't know this stuff when it comes to the law or legality around mortgages.
Yeah.
So I would look into that, and I would ask Wells Fargo and say, well, this is not been done with my approval or, you know, with my consent. Please send me my original documents with you where I've been paying my mortgage to. See what happens. It'd be worthwhile getting a constitutional lawyer or someone involved that maybe knows about this. And if you put it out there, you will find people have done this, or they know about people that have done this. So I would actually not just accept this. I would actually do some digging and find out, because people have not had to pay their mortgage because of this.
Yeah, I mean, when I think about it, you did not make a deal with that person in Texas.
No, you did not.
You made a deal with the bank.
Correct.
So
they do this. They don't usually let people know, though. They'll just on sell to another bank or another, you know, financial distribution place. They'll never tell you. So you're not actually paying your original mortgage contract. It's going to someone else.
Yeah.
So I would actually be looking into this and seeing what you can do about it, because I know.
Can I ask a question about this? Does that mean that Wells Fargo is getting ready to just be a redemption center?
Ooh,
and nothing else?
I can't believe they told you, Melissa. They normally just do it on the sly.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, let's just see. Is Wells Fargo changing its bank aspect to something else? Is that, let's just have a look at that first. Okay, that one wants to come out. Oh, big ace of, and I ran my hand over the whole lot, and that was the one that was tingling. Yeah, I would say that it's changing its status, I suppose, as a bank.
Yeah.
Yeah, look at that. 8 of Cups. It's walking away. It's walking away from how it was. This is crazy. Like, this is just what the cards are saying. This is not my opinion. And the 2 of Wands again, which is about the balance, trying to find a balance worldwide. How interesting.
Yeah.
It's like, so Melissa, I'd look into that more. Because the Page of Swords has come up. So they're not telling the whole truth there to you.
Yep, exactly.
Wow.
So Teresa, this is what Maree's saying, is that you need to look into this, because she believes that this means that your loan at this point, when it's sold to someone else, it's not legal anymore.
But get
that contract is voided.
Yeah.
So
get advice on this, because I know people that were doing that in Australia, and it was actually working. But so that was just my personal experience with people, because I was right into all of that sort of stuff, because I had mortgages and things. And definitely look into it, because legally, I don't know if it's different in the US. Maybe there's a clause in there. I know in Australia there wasn't at that time. So, but they'd been sneakily doing it forever.
Yes.
So so I'd get some advice on that one, Teresa.
Yeah. For sure.
Because the Hierophant cards come up. So these are you think about the bank, they control everything, authority over everything.
Yeah.
So just check into it, and see what happens.
Yeah, that sounds like good news to me. That's all I have to say.
I can't believe they told you.
Okay, let's see. I heard there was some kind of shakeup at BlackRock. I can't find the report. I saw it on Friday somewhere. Is there some takedown going on? Let's find out.
Yeah, sure. So Freedom, though, I had heard last year that they were already reported as bankrupt. So I feel they've been, again, keeping the PR aspect of it alive, a little bit like a lot of people we know that maybe aren't really here anymore. So I feel that's, when I saw that, both of them, was it BlackRock and Vanguard, both were insolvent.
Yeah.
So I feel it's just a PR stunt, but let's have a look and see if they're looking at maybe bringing it out more publicly. Yeah. So is there...
And Melissa, if you look into that, let us know, report back if you can, and let us know.
what it's like in the US, if it's different. Yeah. Yeah, it looks like it. So the Seven of Wands is someone that's fighting for their rights. They're taking action to try and keep themselves, strong, but the Judgment cards come. So that's going to be shown to come down. It looks like it, because Judgment is redemption. It is actually everything coming down. It's still a bit of a mystery. We've got our High Priestess card, so that'll only be played out when it's the right timing, but it looks like it will be shown to the public. So not yet. Queen of Swords has come up. When she comes up, it's about speaking truth, being direct, but not quite the king. So it's not quite right timing yet.
Yeah, and I agree with you. She thought it was weird that it's going to a person.
Yeah, that's just weird, man. I'd be so getting onto that.
Yeah, even more like.
Yeah, no. That is just bizarre. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'd be going in and speaking to them, but get some legal advice, or get someone that's in the know that maybe has worked with that. There's groups out there that work with that sort of stuff, like on social media or whatever.
Oh yeah,
yeah, you
find
that
them. Would be a good.
Yeah, like
for sure.
Mortgage. Mortgage alternatives, whatever. Just find something that might have advice already for you. Which make your life really easy. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Very cool. All right, I don't see any other questions on there, so I'm going to bring up something I saw. It was a picture of like hundreds of thousands, I mean, if not millions, of dead fish in Texas.
Wow.
Like, I mean, I'll try to see if it comes up on the picture here, but I don't think
was it a recent photo, Elisa, or was it something? Is it on the ocean, or is that a river?
Yeah, ocean.
Yeah,
just everywhere.
And it was a recent photo.
I think so. That's what I was trying to. I looked to see if I could find a time or a day.
Yeah,
and there was nothing posted as to when this happened. So. First of all, is it real, and is it happening now? I don't know.
Okay, let's just check to see if it's actually a real phenomena.
Yeah.
That's going on. Okay. I mean, there's some weird stuff going on. Hey.
Right?
Right. I mean, all those animals, remember that were doing like flying in a circle, like all of that weird stuff that was going on? Okay, so is this a true phenomena that's actually been happening? Okay.
Cat's here.
Yeah, it's interesting because we've got our 10 of Cups. Now, sometimes this can actually be, it's almost like a fairy tale. It can be like a really happy ending emotionally, but to me, this is signifying it could be a fairy tale. And then we've got our 4 of Wands. So it is, this is also to me somewhere, but it's safe usually. This is where you feel safe or whatever. 5 of Pentacles. So it's like it's not relevant now.
Okay, so it must be old stuff.
This is, I've got the feeling it's old. It's sort of out in the cold. It's been left out. There's been a change. I'm feeling it's an old photo. And what was coming to me, now I don't know, it was so long ago. Do you remember when all of that oil spillage happened down? Was that down near that way, or was that further south? Years ago. And there was huge loss of, life of fish in different places, and, I don't know, but that feels like an older photo to me.
Okay, good. Yeah. Because I'm like, okay, what else is going on? Okay, disinformation then.
Well, just old information that's not relevant for now. Yeah.
Okay. All right. So, Maple Tree, I don't think the cards can answer this question that you have about what the Galactics do for fun.
They probably watch us. We're probably like, what's that movie? The movie when he was in that, they kept him in that little world and everyone watched him. Oh, I've gone blank. Someone will remember the movie. Yeah, it's like he burst his way out in the end. I reckon they're all just watching us. That's their entertainment.
They do watch us. I do know they do
do.
watch us, because I did in a session that came up. Yeah.
Absolutely. Well, Jasper showed that to us, I think, last week, and it was almost going like showing me the bigger perspective and over the earth. And then he took me back a little bit more, which now I've recognized it was going through into another dimension. They were all there, all lined up, watching, sending love, supporting us. It was like, oh, I didn't expect this. So they're definitely watching us. So that's their entertainment, I reckon, for now.
Yeah. And it also depends on, what dimension they're in, if they're in the physical, if they're not.
Yeah.
That kind of thing.
Show. Yes. So, thank you. Truman Show. That's the one. Yeah. So they just watch us.
Yeah, that's a true story. That Truman Show is the most accurate, even more accurate than The Matrix, in my opinion.
I agree with you. Yep.
That's pretty much the most accurate so far.
Yep. And it so resonates. I always remember movies that have truth to them. It's so interesting. Even as a child, the movies I watched that had a truth to them, I still remember them. Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yep. That's funny. Space Cadet Lottie said the car heard you say the fish word. Okay. So next question from Wolf Love. We had a bridge collapse in Montana and a train went in the water last week. Whoa.
Wow, that's really sad, isn't it? So Wolf Love, did you see this? Like, do you live in Montana? Is this something you saw on the news? So let's find out if it's true first, if it actually happened.
Yes.
Because these days we just don't know, do we? Like, all the things that have happened in schools and whatever.
Yeah.
Let's just see if it was real. Hopefully it's not, because that's pretty sad.
Yeah.
So, I feel it is. We've got our Ace of Cups, so that's a yes.
Okay.
So, I'm feeling that it is real.
Yeah, she says that she lives there and it was very close by.
Okay, so, we're getting a yes for that. Okay.
Yeah.
Let's have a look and see if it was natural. So if the bridge or if the train, the vibration, the bridge just collapsed because of wear and tear or whatever.
Yeah.
Let's just see if it was just was going to happen. It wasn't sort of, helped along or anything. Let me just see. I feel it was natural because we've got the Emperor card. So I feel that this is something that just happened through
an
accident. Particular really unfortunate, series of events. And so it was, so I'm really sorry that that's happened to all the people involved.
Yeah.
Was there loss of life? I have got the Temperance card, so I'm presuming that there was some loss of life with it. So we just send them heaps and heaps of love. But so yes, that was that was actually natural. That was just unfortunate accident. Sad.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Yeah, that is sad. Okay. Yeah. Great question. The next question is from Sean. Hi, were the wildfires in Canada deliberately said by the government to conform to the climate change propaganda?
Oh, yeah, I know. Weren't they just weird? And as soon as people started to try, we did look at this, and it was done. It was just done as because it was going to be done by the deep state, but then it was sort of shown. Well, this is what they are doing, what they're planning. And it showed the drones. Someone had footage of the drones actually dropping, the oil, the fire, fire oil, and they all started at once. So it was really obvious. But then remember that what happened in New York with all the smoke, and it wasn't just smoke, because some people were saying that the smoke would go at nighttime, that there was no smell of smoke, and then again in the day it would come back. But I think it was orange.
Yeah.
And there's a number 17 particular drop that talks about the orange skies, green water, orange skies, and there was green water in Venice and Australia. There was this fluorescent green in very particular places. So if you know what you're looking for, so I feel it was. Let's have a look and see if it was was it the white hats like just saying, well, this was going to happen anyway.
Mm-hmm.
Shall we actually make it so that people go, well, this, yeah, I don't know. It's a tricky one. Or have they just used it to their, I feel, because the Queen of Cups has come up. So this is when someone's contemplating an emotional situation. So, what happens here? And it's like, well, we have to show them. We have to show this is what they were doing to us. It could have been a lot worse, is what I'm getting. They've actually made it a little bit smaller with that Page of Cups than what it was going to be.
Okay.
So Ace of Cups again. So so that's what it was about. So, and then have them talk about climate change. So people contemplate and go, hang on a minute, this doesn't make sense. They were deliberately lit. Why are they talking about climate change? So the Queen of Pentacles is always about contemplating your reality, what's going on. So I feel it was something. It would have been a lot worse if it hadn't been handled by the team.
Yeah.
And they were going to use it for climate change. That's been their whole agenda since the little virus.
Yeah, absolutely. Just interesting that that's things like that are happening.
I know.
I know. Wonder if do you think it's the energy that is causing these collective things to happen that are natural?
Yeah, let's have a look and see. Oh, actually, I'm going to ask Jasper. Let me just tune in, because there are definitely natural events that are happening, like the volcanoes, and there's a lot of things going on like that as well. So I'm just going to get Jasper to tune in to see how much of that is actually through the earth doing her vibrational shifting and releasing of our dross and our negative thoughts and stuff. I mean, it's got to get burnt up somehow, doesn't it? So let's just see what Jasper has to show me. Okay. He does this in such funny ways. He's showing me like a sheet, like you've got a sheet hanging up over the world. And he said it's like you've got to rip it to allow everything out. So a lot of this is a natural release of all of the pent up consciousness and energy. So it's like a detox. So the earth is detoxing is what he's trying to show me with that symbology. He said there's going to be more bumps. There's going to be more lumps.
Oh, I'm sure. Oh my God, we're talking thousands of years of, of just. I know.
Oh, and emotion gets stored in the earth. Because so what happened? I was over in where were we? God, I've done so many now. I think it was Cyprus, and we went. Was it Cyprus? And we went to the Delphi, like the Isle of something. But I remember tuning into the earth. It was at her holiday home. It was one of the goddesses. Anyway, tuned into the earth, and as I went down into the earth energetically, I could feel this emotion. There was, because there was a lot of stuff that went on over the thousands of years in these places, and different cultures were buried literally on top of each other. There was fear, there was pain, there was sorrow, the grief. It was huge. I could feel it all. So I got some of my friends and I said, we're clearing this. So we went in and actually energetically cleared all of this emotional stuff that had been trapped within the earth energy. What's the word?
Wow.
Planes or centers? Yeah. And afterwards, it was so much lighter. So we can do that sort of work as well to help earth when we get called to. But it is naturally just spewing this stuff up as well. So yeah, it's huge.
Yeah,
transformation.
Yeah. Dennis, welcome back, buddy.
Oh, Dennis,
great question.
The question is not do they eat ice cream, it's what type of ice cream do they eat. I love
Probably it. Not, because they don't eat dairy.
They don't eat, well, they might have a natural like type of ice cream, like from a plant substance or something, because you can get vegan ice cream.
Yeah.
So funny. Yeah. Love it.
Hey, worth asking because it's funny.
It is funny. Don't have to worry about it. The Nine of Swords has come up.
Oh, don't worry about it.
It would break your heart because I don't think they eat the ice cream.
No, they don't eat ice cream. They're extreme raw veggies eater. Like that's what
They've moved on from that.
Yeah, yeah.
So you'll have to eat the ice cream for them, Dennis. You'll have to have double servings.
Enjoy it while you're a human down here.
See it?
Yes, definitely. Definitely.
Mint chocolate chip Trixie Tot. That's my favorite too if I ever have ice cream. Uh-huh.
Oh God, I haven't had ice cream in years. Probably years. Yeah.
I probably have it once a year, maybe. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. I've never been a big ice cream fan, actually.
Yeah. I think you either are or you're not. So, but I mean, when I do have it, it's got to be that mint chocolate chip. Or there's no point.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I got an ace of wands on that one. Absolutely.
Well, I know that Maple Tree wanted to know if like the ETs have like restaurants and watch movies, like go to the movies kind of thing.
What do you think, Elisa?
I don't think so. They are so, the things they do for fun are very natural and organic, such as getting together and playing music together, dancing while they're playing the music. Very wholesome. That's what I was looking for. Wholesome, healthy type of environments. At least from the sessions that I did, that's what I saw.
Great. That's great to know.
Yeah.
And it does depend again on the dimension or that they're in as well.
Oh, yeah,
and
yeah,
what they're experiencing. So because some of them may be on a slightly lower frequency and they still are, physically, eating and drinking or whatever.
Yeah,
and,
I would say after the fifth dimension, they're light beings. So it's not, they don't eat. They don't eat.
Yeah. Or they might take a substance that's just full. Yeah, it's like a light, full of light and full of rejuvenating stuff if they need it. Yeah. So, well, I guess we're going to find all of this out one day.
Yeah. Ask Jazzy, what does he do for entertainment?
What does Jazzy? Oh God, he's already telling me. I watch you lot. He watches us. Oh, what do you do? He says he's always in that frequency anyway. So he's always in that light frequency. So he can move around, go where he wants, do what he wants, do what they want. Yeah. So they're unlimited.
So is he mostly out to do service for others then? He's not like looking to do something entertaining for him as a individual consciousness?
It still brings him joy. The actual energy that comes through, they still have this joy, and that's why his sense of humor. He's so funny. Mm-hmm. Like he comes up with one-liners and all this stuff, and so they do have that joy anyway in being of service, but they're interactive. So, but he definitely loves watching us, and that's why he's always saying, make sure people know that they can tune into that frequency. I just go in through my higher self and then tap in to that, which is an aspect of all of us anyway, at the end of the day. So, but yeah, he has enough fun, he says. Yeah.
Good. Excellent. That's wonderful. All right, let me see if there's anything else. I think I saw something. Oh, Jackie was asking about the sub. Jackie, you might want to watch our previous show. It was all about the submarine. We asked a bunch of questions, and your answer, well, you can find it there.
Yeah, and it was definitely a bit of a FF and how it was done. So
yeah, and then let's see. Teresa was saying, are foreign film companies as corrupt as Hollywood? I know Australia has a few. Just wondering about them.
Yeah, I watched the 2-part video series from a girl called Fiona. Maree, you know her surname. Fiona, It'll Come to Me Hatton or something. And it was called the lolly girl or something. Oh, It'll Come to Me in a minute. But she was taken as a baby and grew up with these sort of people in Australia. And she I can't believe she survived it. She's such a strong woman. And she tells the story. She used to write in her diary everything that had happened, and she's got pictures and everything of what happened. And yeah, it includes a lot of people that you would not expect. So I would say yes to that. We know that Nicole Kidman and her father was very big in it, you know, all of that.
Oh.
Yes. Yeah, very, very big in it. That's why he went over to Singapore at one stage to escape. But she was definitely brought up. This girl had interactions with that family and how she was treated. And so, yeah, definitely.
Okay.
Not everyone. And I know now there's these beautiful young upcoming producers and actresses and actors. They're going to be our new world. They're going to be our new way of film. And I know some of them, and they're just incredible. And they would never be down that route. So, but definitely some of the older ones, not all of them, but if you got anywhere, usually you have to be a part of it, which is really sad. So so this is just showing you had to do this is about little ones. You have to be a part of that.
Ugh.
I know. So look, it'd be horrific if you watch these videos. You know, she talks about churches and what they actually did in them behind closed doors, and like massive, the cathedrals. If people knew, they would just be horrified.
Yeah, well, they're going to know, I hope.
They are going to know. Yeah, I think they have to. They have to know. Yep.
All right. Well, that's it for now. I think the next one, if we get to have it, because I'm not sure if I'm going to North Carolina or not yet, going with the flow.
Good girl.
But if we don't, or if I still get to do it maybe from the car.
Yeah, we could do a travel. We could do a travel show.
Yeah. So if I'd like to talk about Scientology.
That'll be interesting. Yeah, because that's a very hidden, twisted. What really is it about? Because I've tried to look into it, but nothing makes sense. Like I've watched a documentary on it and this and that, and I'm going, but this still isn't making sense.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yep. Oh, that should be interesting.
That will be interesting.
All right, everybody. I love you. Thank you for being here. As always, keep your vibrations high. Maree and Jessie, thank you.
Love you all. Okay.
Bye-bye.